Welcome everyone, back with the latest time trial video, where I go through my best lap and show you if I'm able to get gold driving in automatic. And hopefully show other drivers who attempt this in automatic that if I was able to be fast enough, then it can be done. Sometimes, I'm not fast enough, or the elite drivers make the gold target out of reach, and I'll have to switch to manual. I'll showcase those laps in these videos as well. I do all my driving on controller, and in time trials, I drive with assists on, which are countersteering, ASM, ABS, and traction if needed. I'm also using the braking area, apex markers, and chasing one of the leader's ghost. The second part of this video will be the chase cam view, so you can see the full position of the car through turns as I'm driving. With all that being said, let's jump right into the lap and show you how I did. This time trial is at Laguna Seca in the Ford Shelby GT 350R. I needed ASM for this one, and my traction set at 3. First turn, I used the 4 board as my marker. I ended up going a little too deep and let off after I passed the end of the area. Then I'm at about 50% throttle until I'm rotated enough to go full. For the second turn, I used the 2 board, then let off just before the last red bar of the area. Let it coast past the apex before I go full throttle. Next turn, again using the 2 board, but I start braking just as it passes off screen, let off at the last red bar, and quickly but slowly start getting back on the throttle until I can go full at the apex. For this left, I start braking just before the 3 board. I let off the brake as I approach the third last bar, let it coast past the apex before I'll get back on the throttle. For this fast left, I used the 2 board, but I'm braking quite a bit before it around this point. I let off as I approach the 1 board, then let it coast, and hit the throttle at the apex. For the corkscrew, I used the 4 board, and I'm braking just as it hits the edge of the screen. Try to stay in a straight line, and let off just before the last red bar, then go full just before the downhill begins. Here, I just lift and coast. You can use the last red bar or the tree as a marker, then I get lightly back on the throttle until I can go full out just before the apex. For this right, I use the beginning of the curb, or even the 2 board that's hidden behind the ghost. Let off as I pass over the second last bar, then back on the throttle early. Final turn, I use the 3 board, but I'm braking a bit before it around this point. Let off around the second last bar, then back on the throttle lightly at the apex until I'm rotated enough to go full out. This car is not easy to handle, but once you get the hang of it, it's pretty fun to drive. I only shaved off a little time from my previous record, but it was enough to just make it into the 127s, with a 127.945, just over half a second better than the target time, and should be good enough to keep me in gold standing. Now I leave you with the chase cam view. Hope this video can help all my fellow automatic drivers get themselves that gold. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Your support is greatly appreciated. Thank you, and see you in the next video.